loves, so today's video is the Q&A video, my answers to your questions, and I just want to say thank you to everybody who asked questions, and I know that this video is long overdue. Start with the most recent video and the questions that were on that video, and I did write them down, like I said, so if I'm looking down, that's what I'm doing is reading, and then also I did write down the ones from the older video, and I'm going to give these people shout outs as well, because it's not fair to advertise that you get a shout out and if you ask a question, if you did already ask one. I just want to be fair, but anyway, so that's what I'm doing. So if this ends up being a two-part video, I really don't want it to be too long, so I'm going to try to answer these quickly, and if you want me to elaborate or talk more about a certain subject, then please let me know down below. If you have any additional questions, please put them down below. Cassie Richards says, how do you manage your regular life and your YouTube life? I feel a really deep connection with my subscribers, and so it's actually become a part of my everyday life and my regular life. It's become a part of who I am, and that's just such a blessing to me. So it's not that hard in general though to do. I mean, if you keep yourself focused and organized with your notes for videos, or have ideas of what you want to do, that helps to separate the two easier. I hope that makes sense, but I could probably ramble all day long on all of these. You guys know this, but I hope that answered your question, Cassie. So the next question is from Haley Powell, and she asks, what made you want to do YouTube? I just felt like I had something to bring to the table, so to speak. Everybody is an individual. Everybody is their own unique person. And for me, I just so many people on so many levels, and it's just who I am. And that's really what made me feel like I had something to offer, because when I watch videos, I like to look for someone's, personality, their genuineness, and that's one thing that back then I felt like I could bring to the table, and what was missing in a lot of videos, but everybody's different. Everybody's doing their own thing. Directioner 2002 asks, do you like One Direction, and if so, who is your fave? Well, I wouldn't say I dislike them. I typically, if I hear a song by them on the radio, for example, I don't turn it. I do think that they have some pretty good music, but I honestly don't know anything about them. I really don't, and I don't know if the younger crowd calls them like a boy band now. I think that term is pretty much obsolete, but my boy band days were like back from the ages of like 12 to, I don't know, 15. I was obsessed with NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. That was, those were my One Direction people back then. So that's all I can say on that. I'm so sorry, but I know a lot of girls are so crazy over them, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. But thank you for your question. That was really sweet, I thought. Brittany Davis asks, do you want kids? If so, how many? And how old are you? And what do you do for a job? Thank you for all your questions, Brittany. That's really awesome. So we covered the kids issue, and if so, how many? I don't know. Ideally, I would like to have 2, but I just however many God decides to bless Todd and I with, that's the number I want to have. That's what I want for my life. So, it's hard to put a number. I want to say a whole slew of kids, but I don't know. 2 would be ideal for me, I think. It's what I've kind of always wanted. And how old are you? I am 28 years old. What do you do for a job? I am a medical coder, and I could ramble about what I do and my degree and everything all day long. But there again, it's going to be a lot of rambling. I'm very passionate about what I do. But yeah, so thank you for those questions, Brittany. Diana Valencia 0, I'm hoping I said your last name right, or that name right, She asked, what are your all-time favorite Dollar Tree makeup items? Well, like I said, I'm doing a video on this next week, and I don't want to give too much away from the video because I want you guys to enjoy it, you know, and I hopefully you'll enjoy it anyway. But I really appreciate your question, Diana, and I promise you it will be answered next week. So, next question came from May Love asked, what is your favorite household, food, and beauty product from the Dollar Tree? As far as beauty products go, I like to buy a lot of staple items, and I'll go over that in the video that I'm going to do next week. And then as far as household and food, the household one is really a complex subject, but I'm going to break it down. I'll break it down for y'all, I promise. And Nicole Jacoby, I think is how you say it. Sorry, Nicole, if that's not right. She asked me, what are your 5 must-haves at the Dollar Tree? And let's see, like on a whole, I would say staple beauty products, kitchen gadgets. And when I say gadgets, I mean like, you know, measuring cups and things of that nature. Let's see here, I'm trying to think. Super glue is 1 for sure, and that's 3. Would be like greeting cards and office supplies. And food goes, like food is always like a wild card, but like there's certain things that I can always get, like the baked wheat crackers that I love, you know, things like that, like the baked wheat crackers. I sometimes buy some spices there that I can't find elsewhere for $1 or cheaper, and they have bigger size bottles of spices as far as that goes. There's 5 kind of like general areas, but I'm gonna do a series on this soon, I promise, so I'll explain more at a later time. So but thank you for your question, Nicole. Angie Sewell, I'm still not sure how to say your last name, Angie. She had asked me, or she said, I'd love to start a YouTube channel and do hauls as well. Any advice to get started, and were you nervous when you first started videos? Well, Angie and I have spoken outside of YouTube through email since this question was posted, and the main thing, my golden rule of thumb, is to be yourself. Always be yourself, and I honestly, it's taken me like so far. I'm just like leaps and bounds beyond where I thought I would be, you know, since April. And I've been myself, and it's just easier to be yourself that way. Just, you know, you're gonna hit a wall eventually if you're not being yourself. So be yourself, do your research on YouTube, watch a lot of videos. Watch a lot of videos you love, watch a lot of videos you think you may be interested in filming. Look at how, you know, people do their editing, look at the things they talk about, you know, just the way they set their videos up. Everybody is different and unique, and chances are when you start your channel, you're going to do things in your own unique way anyway. So be yourself and do your research, study, know the content you want to share. If you don't, you know, try to upload a few different types of videos that you enjoy and that you're passionate about, and see how people receive them. And you know, that's part of it. And I guess that takes me into the nervousness part. Yes, I was nervous. You know, it's a very nerve-wracking thing to, you know, you decide you want to do YouTube, and then you get the courage to film a video, and while you're filming it, you know, it's very awkward to talk to a camera, and without, you know, receiving, you know, you're not sure who's going to see this or any of your videos. I'm still not, you know, I get a lot of new subscribers every day, and everybody, you know, all different walks of life. So you don't know who's going to find your video and watch it. So be yourself, and you probably more than likely will be nervous. If you aren't, that is amazing and awesome. You know, but it's a learning process, and it was for me. I can only speak for myself. Started, you know, realizing what my niche was and seeing that it's comfortable, you know, being yourself on camera when, you know, you're talking about anything. I mean, anything, even like groceries in a grocery haul. You know, if you are yourself, people are going to receive that a lot better than if you're not. And if you're nervous, you know, a lot of the time, a lot of the flaws that you may see in a video or you hear yourself doing, people don't even notice unless you point them out. So, and that's the truth, and I can say that from experience at this point. So I hope that helps everybody, in case you're having that, you know, that question pop up in your brain every now and then. But thank you, Angie. I can't even read my own writing. Katie Wibble, I think. Katie asks, what kind of dog is Wrigley? He's so adorable, thank you. Also, is there anything you absolutely hated at the Dollar Tree and or Big Lots or Big Lots? I had a terrible experience with a canned good at the Dollar Tree. Oh no, oh goodness. I hate that. I'm sorry you did. You know, sometimes like the bad experiences can be part of a lot of different reasons, like, you know, maybe the staff or the employees, they're not, you know, clearing out the shelves where they need to be or checking the products where they need to be. And so just always, you know, my advice as far as those foods go, always check the dates on the food, no matter where you go, even if it's at Walmart, I always check just to be sure, and I honestly, I have never had a bad experience with a canned food, or a food in general at the Dollar Tree. Now, as far as Big Lots goes, I have had several instances with Big Lots on food, you know, where I know better than to not leave the store, or to leave the store then without checking dates on something. So my most recent example would be, I bought this like supplemental gravy type stuff, really, like, you know, for what it was, you know, it was like amazing ingredients in it, and so I'm picky about what I give Wrigley, and I had been giving it to him for a few days. It had been expired for 2.5 years. So just always check the date. And then what kind of dog is Wrigley? Wrigley is a Border Terrier. So I hope that answered your question, Katie. Next, I have a question from, I believe this is Kayla, and she spells it C-A-L-A, or Kala. I want to go with Kayla for now. But she asks, how did you get started going to the Dollar Tree? I thought this was such an interesting question. And I really had to ponder on this one for a few days, actually. I was like, ooh, I don't know. But used to, I didn't buy, like 90% of the things I buy there now, I never used to buy. And honestly, I first started shopping at the Dollar Tree for a lot of staple household and beauty and, you know, food items, probably about 2.5 years ago. So thank you for that question, Kayla. You really challenged my long-term memory there. So JLB Bryant, B-E-E, that's super cute. She asks, have you made any friends through your awesome YouTube videos? Well, thank you so much. And yes, I have. I have met a lot of amazing people on YouTube. Not in person yet, but eventually one day I just would love to meet some of you in person. I promise I will upload another one a lot sooner than I did this one. So this way, this gives you an opportunity, since, you know, you've gotten to know me a little bit better since I posted the last request for questions. You know, if you guys have any additional questions now, leave them down below, and maybe we can make it a regular thing. If not, you know, I may not be that interesting, and you might not want to ever have one of these again, and that's perfectly fine with me. So, I mean, as long as it's, you know, not anything you guys are really wanting, I really, you know, I'm okay with it if you're okay with it. So, yeah, that's it. And thank you all again so much for your questions. I think I'm losing my voice now, and but I will answer the rest later. And yeah, I guess that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you got to know me a little bit better so far, and I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next time.